Yo people, so my name's Aaron, otherwise known as the Blunt Barber. The amount of times I see people with haircuts from a random magazine or a random football player that really don't suit them. They might look like a pineapple. The best thing really is to find a style that suits you. How do you do that? It's about understanding your hair, understanding your style, understanding your head shape. And when you work all these things together, you're gonna find something that really works for you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is not factoring in their head shape. Have you got a more round silhouette, a more square silhouette? Do you have a great jawline? We really wanna build something that's square and chiseled. Some people have more rounder head shapes, so it's good to build a little bit of weight above it. Some people have a really big back buck. It tends to look good if you reduce weight on a haircut like that. Head shape is something that is often neglected in barbershops, usually factored in hairdressers, but nowadays I think barbers are becoming more competent at working with head shape. Now, a lot of people we get coming into the shop asking us, can I get a low fade, can I get a mid fade, can I get a high fade, etc. Fades are great, but if a fade doesn't suit you, it's not great. When really it's not about that, it's about building a great shape that suits you. Secondly, it's about what hair texture you have. Now, often the best haircuts are the haircuts that work with your hair texture. The last thing you want to do is contradict your natural hair texture. So not when it's been blow dried, but when you've got out the shower and you've left it to dry naturally. Hair texture can be looked at as a graph. Number 1 being the straightest hair texture, all the way up to number 4, which is the coarsest, curliest hair texture. If you've got curly hair, probably a quiff isn't the best style for you. If you've got very straight hair, it's probably best not to try and perm it and look like Will Smith.
Absolutely.
Once you've understood that hair type, is to try and fit a style, 1 to your head shape, and 2 to your hair type. If you do that, you're gonna have something that really suits you objectively. And then it's really about adding a little bit of flair or a little bit of what your style is into that haircut. Now the third point, one of the most important points and one that can contradict the other two, and that is, how are you dressed? What is your style? You know, back in the day, people would want to identify with some type of group using style to determine that. So you've got to ask yourself, what kind of person am I? And what kind of person do I want to be? Often people focus particularly on a group of style. It's good to have a little bit of that, but it's also good to have what actually suits you. Am I generally quite athletic? Maybe shorter hair will suit me, it's more practical. If you're a lawyer, you're probably not gonna wanna have a skin fade with a night tick or a pattern in the side of your head. Your clients wanna see you as somebody that's competent, somebody that's smart. And are you really gonna convey that with a skin fade, a super sharp lineup, a ridiculously sharp beard? So maybe it's worth thinking about what style is going to suit what I do as a person. Once you meet all of those, you're going to have something that's inimitable to you and nobody else has it. You know, you're not following a crowd, then you've got something that is really, really specific to you. Factoring in these 3 things, head shape, hair texture and hair type, and lastly, style. And I'm telling you, you're gonna look better than you've ever looked. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a little comment down there and tell us about what the worst hairstyle you've had is. I know that I've had some pretty terrible ones. I think I see some pretty terrible ones as well. Hopefully you're not the guy that has a top knot. But leave a like down there and drop us a subscribe as well. Thank you.